What's happening? How are you guys doing? All good? Well, welcome to another SLG meetup where we connect with some of the most interesting players in the luxury space. And today we have a very, very cool guy joining us. His name is Dan Lenard. He's the CEO of Nuvolari Lenard, where they do interior and exterior design for luxury yachts. So it's going to be a very beautiful conversation about how he's taking all that into a different level through DNA and how to connect what he's currently doing to new heights.
Dan, what's happening, my friend? How you doing?
Good. How are you?
Doing excellent, doing excellent. Thank you for joining.
Oh, thank you for inviting me.
Well, Dan, thanks for joining. I was making a quick introduction about you, how you're the CEO and you do all the designs, our Nuvolari Lenard, where you guys are taking not only interior and exterior design for luxury yachts, but you're actually building a whole brand. So why don't you tell us a little bit about your story, how you got there, and anything you want to share with us?
That's when I'm 5 years old and I'm with my father in Kornati Islands and I see the first yachts coming in and dropping the anchor, and I just thought these were some objects from another world. They didn't look like boats, fishermen's boats or little sailing boats, but they really looked like a design already back then in the 70s. So that kind of got me pregnant for the rest of my life, So.
I love it.
Then, going through school and studies and always thinking about yachts, always boating, always sailing, always, trying to be near this environment of yachting until at probably around age 22, which is 30 years ago, yes. I met my partner, Carlo Nuvolari, who is a lifetime partner in business, and we started back then, and officially we are 27 years old, but unofficially we are 30.
And that's amazing because your job is beautiful. Like, I'm looking at all the designs that you've done. It's very mind-blowing. And my question to you is, like, now that you're so involved and you've been doing this for so many years, from interior, exterior designs and with everything that is going on, what will be now one of the things that people are actually asking the most? Like, what's something that's becoming trendier and trendier?
I'd say we are making trends. So probably the next trend will be something we as a studio will put out, because obviously we started so many trends so far that I don't think that I will today talk about any trend that is existing. I'm more looking like what's the next trend I can actually bring up with. There is a trend of taking boating more into a real estate level, because the sea itself and the boat as a machine got generally less important, and you will seldomly see boat being intentionally a machine first and then a real estate. It's actually happening the opposite. So this tells us not that people don't like the sea, but they just don't think that they have to use the boat in every condition. Electronics and all the rest of knowledge and access to information that we have today allows us to avoid mostly the bad weather, or not even using the boat in the situation where it can even come to bad weather. So, you are not anymore a seaman, you are more a tourist on your yacht. So I have to say, it's for a boater, that's not a nice trend, but it's understandable. Not everybody is born to be a seaman, most of just like the leisure of the sea. So they are transforming yachting into more of a leisure sport rather than a dynamic and adventurous sport. Saying that, I can immediately deny myself, because there's a little trend of boats that are becoming even more adventurers. They are like explorers and vessels that really can go anywhere. So within this trend, stepping back from the sea, actually there's a little trend of even forcing even deeper into the adventure. So
right.
Trends are actually, as you know, everywhere in fashion, in design, they're even contraposition, and you would say, how is possible that the two? So opposite trends can coexist, but they do, and that's what's nice about this job, you know.
I love it because you were telling me how with some of the clients you've been working with, now they're trying to bring that same design and concept into their homes. And you have a few projects going on in Florida, LA.
Well, it's not the same. It's the approach. I mean, we have really a very analytic approach to the finest detail, to discuss details with the owners, and obviously the experience from the yacht somehow can be transferred to their real estate involvement. Obviously on a smaller scale, because we haven't ever seen yet a real estate that allows us budgets that we use on yachts, obviously. And I think that's rational too, you know, because you can't see the house in the same level of your luxurious expression as the boat. You know, in reality, you can always justify the house, and the boat is very difficult to justify with any reason, actually.
Right. And have you come across these boat houses that are, you know, becoming trendier and trendier? There is one, the yacht house in Miami, where, you know, it's an actual villa that is floating in the ocean. Obviously, it's completely different, but it's like a mix in between both. What are your thoughts about that?
Those are, well, that's not really boat anymore. It's like a kind of a floating house. I wouldn't say I have any experience with that, but yeah, we monitor that. We understand that there is a trend of being close to water at the end of the day, even on the water, because if you were just once going across the ocean, you understand how crowded we are where we are and how much space it's out there that is completely unused, you know, and that's really impressive when you understand it with your own eyes.
That's what's the most amazing about that whole world in the ocean, because it's so open and there's so much to do, and to have your own yacht designed the way that you want it, it's what makes you an adventurous. You've been doing some amazing experiences as well, from going from Spain all the way to Fort Lauderdale, and you know, in one of your yachts. That's beautiful. Like, that's getting into adventure with your own yacht.
I think that that's actually a small ocean. There is a bigger one on the other side. That is like
I'm sure. You have probably a lot of stories to share that are mind-blowing. But Dan, where is your demand coming from? Where do you find these clients, and how do you promote your services and product?
Well, you know, one thing that speaks for our work is already all the floating work that we have around the world, you know. So if you go around every marina, any marina around the world, you will probably find a Nuvolari Lenard in it. So I often have fun with my son saying, if you ever stay without money and cards and you don't know where to go, just go in the nearest marina, find dad's design, tell that your dad designed it, and you're going to get probably a free lunch, and probably they're going to find some funds to get you back home, you know. So this is obviously our display, you know, and that works as a tam-tam, you know. It goes from owner to owner. That's one way to do it. Second is loyalty to certain professionals in the business. Can I name some? Is that a problem?
Yeah,
or,
of course.
For example, we work recently a lot with Moran Yacht and Ship. It's a kind of a team, and that's the second way of doing business in this sector, in this market. The third one is a little bit more of a guerrilla marketing. You know, like I strongly believe in social media. I strongly push a personality and the front man, if you want, a face to the company. And I believe that this is developing into more human first touch. You know, a company is a company, but business with us would always mean years of involvement between all parties. And you better like a person you're going to work with, you know, and you can somehow judge already from social media who's who and who's doing what. And seriously, I don't feel I'm actually even doing it. I could actually be more involved in that, but time, of course, is more precious on the other side where you have to work. It's not just fun of social media that you live for, you know.
But that's awesome. So This is beautiful, Dan, and you do an excellent job because you were telling me about how now it's more important to have a face also in the company. You cannot just be promoting a brand. You need to put a face that people feel that human connection, because sometimes we disconnect when there is so much, involvement with brands and so much competition these days, because people get overloaded with so many brands and so many products. So when they see a face, they get actually involved. They actually see that human connection, and that's very important these days. So with that being said, I believe you do an excellent job doing the personal brand. This is something that we discussed, both of us, that it's kind of like the only way to maintain that relationship. And with that being said, I believe that when you do some storytelling, when you actually start telling more about not only what the brand is all about, but your personal stories, people connect. So what are some things that, throughout all these years in your career, you've experienced that you would like to share with the audience, things that people can take as takeaways?
I still strongly believe in apprenticeship, If you wanted to be an architect in the past, the best way was to really beg a very famous architect to try to be next to him and see how he's doing, and then you would become his school. It was the same with painting. It was the same with sculpturing. You remember that we would all say, this is a Michelangelo school, this is a Botticelli school, this is a Rembrandt school, It's the same in music, It would be very advisable for a young musician to try to start in a kind of a band, or just bringing boxes for a band around the stage at the beginning, But right away close into the happening, even if on the side and in a silent role. So I think that it's very difficult to become somebody in any business without experiencing some of this through a tutor or somebody that you choose to be as close as what you want to be one day, And in this fast world today, people want an overnight success, and suddenly it seems like, in music, you can do it with your Apple and there is a hit. And with a design, you can do it with a 3D program and everybody will want to build that boat. But unfortunately, then the cold shower comes and it's not like that, You still would have to do a conservatory, learn the instrument or more instruments, and then probably you will be able to write a decent music. And it's the same in architecture and in design. You should use this tool for the first thing that you want to do when you want to express your design, way before you go on the screen with a 3D program. It's called pencil and it's very cheap and it does
nice
job.
And done. I definitely love talking to you. I mean, you were supposed to come in November to Miami to the, for Lauderdale Yacht Show, but it's not happening. When are we going to see you in Miami? I would love to connect in person.
Look, Miami is a place I'm strongly connected to. I really like the place. I have been going there for 25 years. I don't know even how many times. I've seen it in different shapes and costumes. The town was going in all kinds of directions. I'm missing it. And this is the first year in my life in recent 25 years. I would be probably once a month in Miami in the normal circumstances.
Absolutely. No, but Dan, it was a pleasure talking to you. Definitely looking forward to see you in Miami. So let's hope that this will happen soon. And we'll be in touch. I really appreciate your time, like always.
Well, thank you very much for this invitation, and let's do it soon again.
For sure. If one last thing, Dan, if they want to contact you or reach out to you, where can they find you?
Nuvolari Lenard is on the web, but you have everything on the social media as well. You can just drop me an Instagram or Facebook to the studio, to my personal account. That's where we get more contacts today than we do through emails and websites. Actually, we could definitely delete our website.
Amazing, amazing. Okay, sounds good. So if anybody has questions, you can reach directly to Dan, also to myself, and we'll connect. And again, always a pleasure, Dan. We'll be in touch and have a great rest of your day.
Thank you. Thank you.
Bye-bye.